Melissa Perry and Alan Dykstra. Wendy's going to have something to say about these people in just a few minutes. Next is Karma Brown and my son Daniel Hardman. Next is Angela Rolkin and Willem's brother Seep Dykstra. Next is Wendy's lifelong friend Kathy Nelson and Willem's brother John Dykstra. Then it's kind of hard for me to say this, but the next couple is Mr. and Mrs. Willem Dykstra, and I've turned her over to him.
Just before we get started, I'm just going to kind of tell you about some of my beautiful bridesmaids today. Missy, or Melissa, or Miss, whichever you prefer. We've been friends since high school. We've gone to church together forever. And we made it through Bethel Education Department together. And we made it through the kindergarten education class. So we are both now certified in K through 6. Missy's subbing right now, and she's just a joy. So all you teachers who need subs, call Missy. And next is Karma Brown. We met a couple years ago when we were performing in Iowa in a children's theater. Her uncle owns it, and her cousin Jan, wherever you are, and Spiff is here. Sorry, Spiff. And we performed together for a summer, became fast friends, and she goes to Northwestern, and she's also in the education department. And this is her last year. She starts student teaching in 2 weeks. So, lots of prayers to her. And next is Angie. Angie and I met when we were in college. She needed a place to stay because she couldn't afford college, and I said, why don't you come and stay in our basement? Of course, I didn't ask my mom before I said that. So I had to make a quick check at home. And my parents were more than excited to welcome another daughter into their life. And she stayed with us for a semester, and we became very close friends. And she is a music ed major, and she's student. Are you right in the middle of student teaching?
Oh yeah.
Almost finished, and she'll be graduating in January. And next is a dear friend, Kathy Nelson. We grew up starting 6th grade. We've been friends since 6th grade. We met in elementary school, went through college together, survived her lack of letter writing in college. Yes, I even wrote her a letter. It was a fill-in-the-blank letter. A self-addressed stamped envelope to myself, and I didn't get it back. So if you want to keep a relationship with Kathy, don't write. And she's my maid of honor, and that's why my girls are in the wedding party.
Okay, sorry, Missy, but all the teachers phone Wendy first. Wendy is also a sub-teacher, and we need the income. Then phone Missy. Well, Wendy, I want to say a little bit. Wendy and I met doing an RC show, Hot Under the Collar. And when the show was over, like Angie, Wendy said, why don't you come and live in our basement? I really needed a place to live too. So, I just wanted to say who these men were. This is Alan Dykstra. He's my nephew. And next is Dan Hardman. He's my brother-in-law. And next is Seep, my oldest brother. And John, my best man and next oldest brother. John is from Edmonton, Alberta. And Seep is from Oshawa, Ontario, and Alan is also from Oshawa, and Dan is from New Brighton, Minnesota. And I think that's all I want to say.
We don't run a boarding house. if any of you have people that need a place to stay, we're going to have some rooms opening up soon. So. Okay, I'd like to take just a minute to pray, and then we'll be saved. Thank you, Lord, for this wonderful day and for all the blessings you've brought into our lives, and for the witnesses that have come for this ceremony, for the food, and for the joy of this time of year, and for this wedding. Thank you for these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Never camera. I like
Numbers on that one. That's kind of hard. She drinks coffee and like.
it doesn't even affect me. I can't for my 4 hours. Tonight's wedding asked for That's crazy. Okay, that was maybe it's your older wedding.
Encounter could be worse. Seriously, stay in the Word regularly. God will bless you through it. Carolyn Nordquist.
Laugh a lot, sing a lot, and get out of the basement.
Willem, treat Wendy like a queen. Even when she's late, crabby, tired, etc., she is still your queen. Wendy, never. Wendy, treat him like a king. Even when he's late, crabby, tired, etc., he is still your king.
This one is quite brief. Good cook, from Mandy Miller.
Trust in the Lord. He will provide, even in the tough times. And you married an actor, so those will be many. We'll do one more, and then we're going to have a song.
Don't rent movies. Come to our house and borrow them from us. Love, Britt.
Next up, we have a friend of the couple, Sarah, who's going to be doing a little number for you. I'll let you introduce it yourself. Sarah? Love one card. Take one day at a time. Enjoy each day to the fullest. Share in all aspects of life, even housework. Every day is wonderful. Some days are just more wonderful than others.
Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Psalm 37, verse 5. Solve any differences before closing your eyes and sleep. You sleep better.
Willem and Wendy. They say the first year is the hardest, so be prepared for anything. You can get through anything if you put God in the center and love each other no matter what. One more thing. Always do your best to make your spouse feel attractive. Speaking of attractive, we'd like all the attractive young ladies to step forward because I believe Wendy's going to toss her bouquet.
I'm going to keep my shoes on.
Yeah, keep your
Single ladies, please. Step right up. Come on, singles. Well done. Well done. Nice turnout, ladies. Thank you.
Plan for fun times together. Plan dates often throughout your married life.
May your wedding night be like a good tackle. All legs and no drawers.
Hello.
Is that table? That's table. It's table.
This is where I'll go into my part of the program here.
These types.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about how Willem came into this country. Give you a piece of advice first. I also married a man quite a bit older than I did. The important thing to know is when to make the old jokes and Willem, when to make the blonde jokes.
I'll help you out.
And Wendy, never start a family discussion in the middle of Star Trek. Anyway, it was about a year and a half ago, I was going to be directing a national tour for the Refreshment Committee, which is a theater company based here in St. Paul, dedicated to producing quality theater that reflects biblical values and truths. We'll be running A Wonderful Life at 7th Place Theater, downtown St. Paul. So it's Thursday, Friday, 2 shows. Saturday, tickets are 8 and 10, 10 and 12. Sorry, that's important. I had to get that in. It's going to be great. So anyway, I had auditions coming up for this show, and I noticed 2, 3, 4 days before the auditions, I hardly had any men sign up to audition. So I dug through our files, and I started going through looking for actors, and I came across this rather handsome young man. And I said, Canada. And I went, Canada? There's no way he's going to... And I looked at his resume, and I go, well, he's talented. Well, I'll give him a call. For some reason, out of 180, he's the only one. I said, well, give him a call. I got on the phone, and I believe I talked to your father first, who gave me a phone number where I could reach you. I called you, and you said, well, I happen to be unemployed right now. Yeah, I'll send you a tape. We got the tape, and Mike Donnelly and I concurred that he was probably one of the most talented young men we'd ever seen. We were really pleased. Had I known what it would take to get you a work visa for this country, I never would have done that. Agonizing hours of paperwork and photocopies and phone calls, and we're working against a deadline to get him here for rehearsal. We're sending him scripts, we're sending him tapes, so he's got to learn everything before he even gets to Minnesota, if he's approved. But God kept saying, trust me, trust me, trust me, I want him in this show. Well, lo and behold, the other gal that was in the show quit. Here I was with a very tall man, a very short woman, and a very short man. I needed somebody to balance Willem out so he didn't look like Dad and his 3 children. So I called Wendy and I said, Wendy, I need you. And she said, yeah, I can put out student teaching. And she went on tour for 3 months. Then I started getting phone calls saying, guess who I'm dating? And I go, Rob? No. And I went, well, Jim's engaged. Well, lo and behold, they were starting to fall in love. And I turned to my husband, I said, well, you've seen that movie Green Card, haven't you? I just don't know if I trust him. After all, we had that big disagreement on the quality of chicken at Swiss Chalet. Well, they came back, and anybody who knows them could see how much they were in love with each other. And I'm just really pleased that I listened to God when he told me to bring you to the country to work for us. So now I'll do some more advice.
Sometimes the very small differences in your personalities need to remain so that there are still two individuals within the union.
I believe it is important to overlook the little things. They do not really matter.
Don't turn him into a fruit tree. I'm sure you can think of much better things to do with bananas and crystal balls.
Always keep the smiles on your faces. And after the fruit tree, that shouldn't be hard.
I think she got it.
Is this a good time for a blonde joke?
You look like you're going to sneeze.
What's the difference between a blonde and a golden retriever? Golden retriever has a higher IQ.
I told her that one. For every minute you are mad, you lose 60 seconds of happiness.
Cuddle a lot.
Your former best friends are now in second place.
Take time out for a bedtime story. And right now I think we're going to take time out for a poem from Mama Dykstra.
This is a little story we want to tell. And although I do not rhyme very well, we wanted you all to know how our son and brother came to grow. This one? Okay. If you please allow me to be so brief, I used for this story an A, B, C. There are so many words for these letters you can use, but you will hear these are the ones I did choose. A for acting. Yes, that has always been Willem's thing. First prizes he already won in talent shows in our town. He loved the entertainment. So off to college he went to get his arts degree for an actor to be. He played in many a show and became a real pro. B for Billy, or Bill. That's what we called Willem when he was small. And then he grew up so handsome and tall. Now he needed a name that could be seen when it would appear on the big screen. So Billy or Bill soon was gone. It was Willem from that moment on. C for CB, or Citizen Band. Willem, we also remember UCB days, when you, for hours, communicated over the waves, talking to your good buddies, so-and-so, and knew all their handles in a row. He would spend hours behind his bedroom door. It was lucky we had a good neighbor, because it interfered with their TV and radio. But they knew Willem had a role. We were pleased you had a hobby you did like. And although you spent many hours at the mic, for many hours you had fun. And then you stopped as fast as it had begun. D for detail. Yes, that's Willem, right on the nail. Everyone who gets from him a letter understands what I mean a little bit better. But don't stop writing now, you hear? What we don't like goes in and out the other ear. E for energy. Willem has energy plenty. Except early in the morning. He doesn't blow up a storm. But when the day is almost up, he doesn't know when to stop. It would be nice if it could be spread out a little evenly. But you will learn bit by bit, like so many of us did. F for fluffy. A 4 for the critter and a little scruffy. Although he was the family pet, he always slept on Willem's bed. Willem and dog were lovingly connected and felt always well protected. When Willem was asleep and one would come near, a deep, big growl from Fluffy we would hear. We would then always be very kind, because nobody likes a bite in their behind. G for grown-up. Yes, little children grow up somehow. And our youngest son is married now. Willem, you were the last to leave the nest, and we let you go with all our best. You now found the girl of your dreams. We know how proud you are. You're bursting in your seams. H for Willem's hair, on which he spends a lot of care. Standing in front of the mirror, looking for a little error, making sure his hairline doesn't fade. This is his lifelong crusade. I for immigrants. Yes, Willem, your dad and mom are immigrants, arriving in Canada from the Netherlands. So you are partly Dutch. And maybe that doesn't mean much, but we do hope you're proud of your heritage, because it is a rare vintage. J for Brother John, where you wrestled with on the lawn. You sure had your quarrels when you were kids, but long ago you took off your boxing mitts. Today he is standing right there on your side, and we know he does it with great pride. K for Kermit the Frog. Yes, you did a lot impersonation, and without any discrimination. When you got going, you just couldn't stop. John Wayne, Jack Benny, and Nixon right to the top. But Kermit had you as your biggest fan, although he was just a little frog man. L for life and love. Willem has a love for life, and now he's deeply in love with Wendy, his brand new wife. Wendy and Willem, may your life be filled with love, a life on earth with blessings from above. M for the mailman, who had delivered a lot of mail now and then. When Wendy and Willem were miles apart, many letters were delivered right from the heart. And that poor mailman with his tired feet kept on delivering through snow and sleet. N for nationality. And after all the formality, you soon will be an American, while you're still a Canadian. But with all our nationalities, we have here no eternities. And as Christians we know, wherever we be or go, the Lord will be on our side, if we will take him as our guide. O for ocean. Yes, twice you crossed the ocean in a big flying machine. What to expect, you didn't have a clue. But for you, it was all new. Above Holland, your first glimpse from the sky were all those channels that looked like ditches from on high. The Dutch words you learned that really took seed are words that I'd rather not repeat. P for parents. Yes, we are your parents and also your friends. We were your mentor, leader, and guide, and the persons in whom you could confide. In all we did or do, we hope we did not fail you. And now that you start your own family, we wish you all the best and wisdom in extremity. Q for quarter. When you were just a little tyke, a quarter you would get on Friday night. That usually was for a drink and a bag of chips. I bet if you think of it, you still smack your lips. Never forget those little pleasures, and you will have a life full of treasures. R for roller skates. On roller skates you were very good, and skated as often as you could. Oh, you sure looked magnificent when you around the rink you went. All the girls let out a sigh and said, "Oh, who is this guy?" So, Wendy, when Willem goes roller skating again, keep a good hold on this your man. S is for your brother C. This day to St. Paul he certainly would keep. And he is here, right next to John. And we think, oh, where the time has gone. It was not so long ago. To school you three boys went. And now, as three grown men, together here you stand. May you three brothers always be close in thought and heart, even though you might be miles apart. T is for Tom. Yes, as a baby you found out that sucking your thumb was, without a doubt, a way to relax and be satisfied when nobody kept you occupied. Much later, we went to the store and bought some full-tasting stuff and thought, this is it, this is the cure. Now he'll stop sucking his thumb for sure. But when we looked in and checked at night, he was still sucking his thumb, a beautiful sight. But soon you outgrew also that stage, and that's another episode of your life fates. U for understand. To understand is a friend who knows exactly what you meant. To understand is to apprehend and feel what is meant. To understand is to be on the same wavelength. We hope you will always have an understanding while together you are planning. It gives you also sympathy when one suffers privately. It keeps you also in touch your whole life while you live together as man and wife. V for vehicle. Willem, remember your first vehicle? No, I don't mean that tricycle. Because then came the bike, a 10-speed you really did like. No, I'm talking about your car. That Toyota, that wasn't really up to par. But it was yours, and that was exciting. Yes, that was your first motor fling. Then more vehicles would follow because the Toyota left you in sorrow. We know you just bought a car and we know you really like it so far. But don't give it all your attention, for it's just a useful invention. W for Wendy. In September of last year, Willem met Wendy here. For 3 months as a group they traveled together. That's when Willem started to know Wendy better. They soon liked each other very well. That's why we're here today, to ring the wedding bell. Dad and I say, welcome, Wendy. Hope you feel at home in the Dijkstra family. X. Dat letter X I cannot use. So here I say, please excuse, so I can go on to the letter Y. Y for yearning. For a partner, Willem was yearning, but also faithfully learning to accept what lay in store. and Willem has to wait no more. His faith paid off. Prayers was answered from above. Zet. With Zet, I'll be on the end of my rhyme. And don't you think it's about time? Z for zest. Yes, we suggest go with zest. Take each day by the horn and welcome each new morn. Don't grouch or whine. Smile like the sunshine. Then, when the day is almost gone, give thanks of what you could perform. Congratulations. Thank you.
We're going to do some more advice cards, and we're going to be getting ready to throw the garter, so men, make sure you're ready to do that. We should let you know that one of the reasons we do the advice cards is because this is like your last chance. You know, and after this, you're supposed to forever hold your peace, so I should tell Mr. and Mrs. Harding we'll be doing your advice the last hour of the program tonight, and they'll be done. So, that was just a joke, I'm kidding, they really didn't do an hour's worth of notes. Go fly a kite every once in a while, Dan Manning.
This speaks volumes to me. Keep the sunny side up. Keep it between the ditches. A flute with no holes is not a flute. A donut with no hole is a Danish. And never, never wash a red shirt with your underwear.
The face of a child can say it all, especially the mouth part of the face. Paul Arneberg.
This could be a recurring theme here. To Willem, don't buy a house with a basement. To Wendy, after Missy has a job, you can be her #1 sub. From Dave, Dad Perry.
Wendy, always beware of the village people. They'll embarrass you when you least expect it. So, Willem, you need to beware too. I love you, Jed. Nicest?
And I think it's just about time for the guys to get up here.
All right. Gentlemen, Willem will be a...
Single gentlemen. Come now.
More. Don't you have to take it out with you? Would that be something if you did? Long time. Hold on, man.
Always ... and you never ... Sorry. That's from Deborah Hulke.
Children are wonderful, but don't be in a hurry. Take time to enjoy one another and learn from each other. Once the children arrive, it becomes more difficult to spend time alone together.
Don't hang around the church tonight for too long.
Remember to keep laughing. It digests your food, helps digest your food, keeps your face looking pretty, takes less muscles than frowning, and keeps people guessing what the joke is. From Donna.
Don't be afraid to tell each other when you have bad breath, and don't be afraid to go brush your teeth.
I got it.
Wendy and Willem. Lots of love, lots of understanding, lots of forgiveness. Most of all, walk with the Lord. Feed him well. Love, Mom Perry.
We're going to have a song now from Angie from the bridal party.
Just some things to say. I haven't known Willem that long, but Wendy and I have spent a lot of fun times going through the single life together. I wish I had hours to share with you the creative dates and things that we've done together. I can't tell you how much fun we've had together, and how excited I am that she found the man
And I'm just going to sing a song that comes straight from my heart. I found the song and I thought, this is about Wendy and Willem. And this is the first time I've played guitar in front of a bunch of people, so I'm kind of nervous. So I'll give it a shot. Can you hear it? We don't have a worry. We don't have a care. We don't have to hurry. We're already there. How to make millions. I haven't a clue. I take all I have, 'cause I have you. We're over the rainbow. We sing on a star. You do your fandango to my lazy guitar. There are so many waiting for dreams to come true. I don't have to wait, 'cause I have you. Clouds may rumble and the winds they roar. The wolf is knocking at our back door. But life is the bubbles, baby, all of our troubles, they just melt away out of you. The king of the jungle, the mighty and proud, would surely be humble if they were allowed to witness the wonder of taking the view of all that I have, 'cause I have you. I'm all that I am, 'cause I have you. There's probably a lot of you out there that have little stories about Wendy and Willem.
Juicy ones, I'm sure.
Things that maybe they should know about each other. Like, I'm sure my husband probably still doesn't know that I had a penchant for milk-bone dog biscuits when I was a child. Maybe there's some unusual story that you'd like to share. I know Brother Dan does. I'm going to start out with him.
This isn't exactly about Wendy, well, because you've lived in the house long enough to know a lot of the same things that I know. Yeah, well, the basement, yes, but what I was going to tell you is kind of start with a quote by John Steinbeck. The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, and I proved that last night at 1 a.m. I went over to Kathy's house last night to help Kathy and Karma get some stuff ready and wrap some gifts and do some normal stuff like that. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do something. Mom wants me to go get the car washed so it's all nice and all looking nice for tomorrow. Okay, cool. I'll go get the car washed. Mistake number one. So I get there and I put in my quarters. This is a 24-hour automatic wash. Go in there. Car gets all washed and it dries. It looks great. I'm like, yeah, cool. Garage door opens in front, so I start pulling out. I look up. Oh, there's a car on my way. So I shut off the car, get out of the car, and there's a bar next door, and I went to go ask them to move the car. While I was in the bar, the garage door shut. And you all know about what the temperature was like last night, and the wind was blowing a good 40 miles an hour. It seemed to me, at least, because I had no jacket and no wallet, and I was in my nice little cotton pants and shirt and sport coat. And anyway, so the car looks all nice, but it's in the garage. And I asked them to come move it, and then they finally do, but I still can't get in there. So I called the New Brighton police. Because I thought, okay, let Mom sleep. She has enough stress, just let her sleep. After 15 minutes, I said, forget it, Mom's getting woken up. So I call home, and Mom didn't answer the phone when it rang, so the answering machine went on. I'm like, Mom, pick up the phone. Pick it up, now. So she did. I said, Mom, the car's in the car wash, and the garage door came down, and I can't get it out. And she's like, how bad is the car damaged? First time. I was like, Mom, the car's okay. It's nice. It's fine. It's just stuck in there. She's like, oh, okay. I'll come up and get you. Another 15 minutes go by of me staying out in the cold, and finally Mom comes up. We go, we get some money. By that time, the cops showed up to get us out, but I just had to go pop in the corners, go walk around, get in the car, have it washed one more time to get the front garage door open to get the darn thing out of there. And so, finally at about, what was it, 1:45, I get home with the car that had been all dry and nice and washed, but now is all washed and wet. So your car that you're going to be driving tonight is all nice and clean, but don't go, just one piece of advice, don't go to the car wash at 2 a.m.
Is there anyone else who had something they'd like to share?
Come on up.
Back when Wendy was probably 3 or 4, my wife and I were visiting them when they lived in Muncie, Indiana, and we were driving around town. It was a warm day and the windows were open, and we pulled up at a stop sign, and there was a car alongside of us. Wendy stuck her head out the window and said, "Do you want to go riding with us?"
I used to say the same thing to people on tour. Is there anyone else who wanted to share something?
Don't be shy.
I'm Wendy's cousin Jennifer from Atlanta, and I have 2 really fond memories of you when we were little. And first one is when we were in Munn Hall, and we dressed up in these really tacky, bold blue bridesmaids dresses and went running around in the streets, tripping the whole way. And the second one is just every time we would get together with Grandma, we would always try on her wedding ring. And we would always dream about having a picture-perfect wedding, and I'm so glad that it's come true for you. It's wonderful. Congratulations.
Anyone else?
Actually, I was going to do a dramatic reading of one of the notes that you wrote me in 7th grade. But it really wasn't appropriate, I don't think. I think it talked about J4 or the man or some of the different code names we had for the guys that we were kind of interested in. Also, it was back during the Valley Girl era with the totally tubular, and every other word was like this and like that. So I thought I would tell another just story, just some of the things that we've been through in our years together, how we always used to trade clothes and shoes, and do you remember when we had to get tested for scoliosis? And we both had to come back for a recall because our shoulders were tipped. And it probably, we switched shoes, and her clog was higher than my clog. Shoulders were tipped. I think we were some of the best nerds together in junior high, and I think you were a real comfort and a source of strength during a difficult time that junior high was. And I have thanked the Lord so many times just for the fact that I have a Christian friend through high school to share and encourage and go to church together, and the family trip and the South Dakota experience and Valley Fair and on and on and on. And I just want to say, and a lot of times you do a toast for the bride and groom, but I like to just say a prayer, and I hope that you all would join me, and maybe even at the end, instead of tinking glasses or raising glasses, just saying amen. I'm going to pray for you. Father God, I thank you so much just for the gift, the precious gift of friendship that Wendy and I have had. Lord, you have just been the center of our friendship and a bonding force. And I thank you for the fun times, just the encouragement and the fond memories of fun time, creative dates, going out, sleepovers, and just all the talking that we've had in life, and sharing joys and dreams and the plans that we have for the future. And God, I thank you that this isn't going to end when they get married. It's just going to be enhanced. That because we're Christians, we've got friends for life and for eternity. And now the friendship can even grow into stronger bond, just the enjoyable times we're going to have to share, even though Wendy's married, and especially because she's married. Just the friendship that is continuing on. Father, I thank you for Willem, and what a precious gift he has been for Wendy, and I can just see how she loves him, and God, you have placed him in her life, and so obvious that you've brought them together, and Father, we just thank you so much for this gift. Lord, I pray that you would just continue to make their love strong, that they would glorify you in their relationship, that they would seek you, and put you first in their life, and God, that you would just bless their life together at this time. Thank you in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Why don't you know, Lord, I do pray for you guys a lot. I do. And I know the Lord is just going to bless. And I thank you, Mocklands, for the friendship you've had.
Final performance for you. Don't forget to tell each other that you love each other. We do it as we say goodnight. God bless you. Love, Levon.
Question for the husband. What can you do to make your marriage better when your wife isn't thinking the way you do and seems to want things done her way or has a better idea? Answer? Just listen to her and don't let little things become major issues. And like the old wise man said, how to handle a woman? Simply love her. Just simply love her.
Willem, if she says or does something you dislike, keep quiet and forget it. If she says or does something you do like, remember it and say so.
Some advice from a fellow thespian. Don't run lines together. Use a tape recorder or a friend. Believe me, I know. Jody Furnace.
I think we're going to just close it up with this last one, and we're going to see that you get all of these so you can put them in a scrapbook and look at them forever. Never forget who put you two together. No. And always look to him. The Lord is in control, and he knows what he's doing. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one final number for the couple. Jeff and Mary Miller have a special arrangement from the show that Willem and Wendy met in, Hot Under the Collar. And I'll let Jeff do the setup. And then you're free to eat some more or drink some more coffee or go.
Boy, there's a few stories I could tell, too. Wendy was my TA for 3 years at Bethel. And to do that takes quite a lot of endurance. Because I teach CIFA, but that's a whole nother story. Just to give you an example of the kind of person Wendy was, she was, and she is, when she was leaving on tour the first time with Hot Under the Collar, I remember being concerned about the whole group and praying for her, and it was just like her to think about me. And I can't remember what day it was. I came to my office soon after they had left and found a post-it notes with some things written on it, some very encouraging things. And then all through the semester while she was gone, I found little notes in my roster, in my drawers, in my files. And she had taken the time to do that. That's just the kind of person that she was and is, that were encouraging to me, and then encouraged me to pray for her, and I will continue for you guys. This song is a little bit of a setup for those of you who don't know Hot Under the Collar. This is a takeoff on one of the songs from Hot Under the Collar, one of the favorite songs, Love, Light, and Lust. Anybody who knows the show and performed it knows it's not one of the favorite songs to perform because it's one of those slow ones that's kind of a thinker. But you also need to know what INS stands for. It stands for the Immigration and Naturalization Service, which Karen mentioned we had a lot of contact with. She did all the dirty work that we've continued to have over the years. So, with apologies to Brooke Berry, this is Willem and Wendy's Lament. We've been together a lot.
Spent lots of time in a band.
She's everything that I'm not.
I'm an American, he's Canadian.
Get out there now, you know.
We wouldn't be here today
if it were not for a tour
and every needless delay
that I was made to endure way back then.
We know
things began to decline.
When finally he came across.
It's hard defining the line when she was both my best friend and my boss. Right then? Hey, honey? Now it's all one, I don't care, and she loves my every quirk.
But this is our daily prayer. Will he now be allowed to find work?
We owe our love to the INS. We know we can surely manage any other stress. They did all that they could, yes, I know, just to keep us apart.
But we made it
They have brains like doorknobs, but they're only doing their jobs. We can't blame them. We owe our love to the INS. We have conquered all their pettiness. We feel much more than we think we ever can express. We owe our love to the INS. We have conquered all their pettiness. We feel much more than we think we ever can express. Yes, we bless the INS.
That concludes our program.